So the elements of soul design, there are so many. Here I'm going to cover 4 main components just so you understand what you're getting in the VIP day. So the main component is, of course, the overview of everything within your soul design. So this is how you're actually built within this lifetime. So when we come into a lifetime, we get a soul contract, or you can say a life purpose. That's another way of saying it. So often people say, what is my purpose? If you're a conscious person, you already probably know what your purpose is. So here we're going to clarify it and enhance it and give it a quantum view so that you're able to see it in totality of your being and understand what it actually looks like in your life. Also, we will look at conundrums and dilemmas in your lifetime. Every lifetime has some of those pre-installed. What do I mean by a conundrum? Think of it like an internal friction. Anytime you have in your lifetime lessons and gifts, there's usually some friction, something you need to learn that's uncomfortable, something you need to be or step into in order to deliver your gifts. And these two things sometimes have a very uncomfortable coexistence. A lot of times we think that these are the issues that we must resolve. Like, oh, what's wrong with me? Why do I have this? I'm a conscious person. I already understand all of this. I apply all of this. Why is this happening? When you understand your soul design, you understand which things are lessons, as in something you need to work with, something you need to clean up, face, deal with, and so on. And which things are more of the pre-installed internal conundrums, which are more of like, what do I need to learn to coexist with within myself? This is a concept that I think a lot of people miss. They kind of assume that there's either gifts or there are issues that we need to clean up. There's actually something else in between, which are these conundrums. These are sort of like you put together like a puzzle, and sometimes it's not very comfortable to live as that puzzle if you don't understand the pieces because you're fitting them incorrectly. So understanding these internal dilemmas releases the inner friction and allows you to actually capitalize, actually benefit by the conundrum instead of feeling only the detriment of it. So that is super important piece, and everybody who's ever done this component with felt incredible relief in understanding what it actually means to be themselves. So whatever things that maybe you feel are the problem within you, and we all have some problems, understanding which things you meant to clean up and which things you meant to learn how to live with. This is a huge readjustment in perception that allows you then to have much, much more well-being and momentum in your life. Another component is, of course, your soul expertise and your superpowers. Everybody always wants to know that. So this we also can see within your soul design. What are the amazing powers you came in with, which powers you meant to utilize and how, for whom, and so on. And also, what is the expertise that is pre-installed in you? Not stuff that you're learning in this lifetime, but what is the soul component that is uniquely your own, your gift, your resonance that you meant to bring here. And when you vibrate at that frequency, that's where your life becomes magical. That's where things come to you with ease. This is where you're in synchronicity and so on. So this is actually something you can literally create in your life by knowing what these things are, which I can tell you because they are inside your soul design, okay? Another thing is decision making. So decision making is about understanding how you meant to make decisions inside this lifetime. Everybody meant to make decisions differently. It's not about mental pros and cons, and it's not always about listening to your intuition, or it's not about always making decisions fast, or always about listening to your emotions. Every person has its own pattern. Understanding the process of that internal navigation allows you then to step into your life correctly on every step you make. Imagine the efficiency and how good it feels knowing with internal confidence and certainty that you are correct with the steps you're taking. So that is possible when you know how you meant to do it. And most of us make decisions incorrectly. Most people make decisions sort of like based on whatever it is that is natural for them. So maybe you have some intuitive senses, maybe you tune into universal energies, maybe you mentally figure it out, but then we kind of overlay on top of it all the other things that are not correct for us. And understanding which is specific pattern that is your own then frees you to make decisions in a way that is natural for you. So there is no more decision anxiety and everything actually feels smooth and correct for your steps in life. Okay. Another component of your soul design is your environment and how you take in information. So assimilating information correctly is important in order for us to evolve, right? So that could be from like literally assimilating information, as in how do you meant to study in a way that you remember. That is an incredible component, because sometimes people come and say, oh, like I can't study, or I never remember whatever I read or whatever. And then we'll look at them. It's like, okay, that is literally not part of your soul design. What is this. And if you study that way, you will remember everything. It's incredible how we're actually meant to take in information. If you know that and you apply it correctly, you have so much ease with pulling into you and absorbing the correct components, and at the same time discharging the components that are not correct for you. And your environment is about your space, not just like physically space, like maybe your home or your office or location on the planet Earth where you're living, but also your environment as in within yourself, so your inner environment. And as an entrepreneur, let's say, what is your marketing look like? What is your presence online looks like? For anything that we're doing, essentially, environment is the space around us. And when we understand which environments are supportive of us and which environments are detrimental to us, we stop putting ourselves into places that hurt us, minimize us, or that just cost us more energy, because we now have to fight to some extent subconsciously the environment just to be able to exist in it. So all of that is also in your soul design. And of course, karmic issues and lessons. These are the things that you came here to learn, and why, and what does it mean, and how you meant to do it, and what's the point here, like what are you actually meant to learn. All of that I can tell you within your soul design. So this is one of the elements. Another element is called profit potential. So this is the wealth energetics of how you're meant to attract wealth to you in this lifetime. So even though wealth includes, of course, your health, your well-being, your opportunities, your relationships, everything, and money, in this specific component, we're literally focusing on business and money. So what are your gifts for the world? So if you, let's say, a conscious coach or a healer or a mentor of some sort, what is it that you're meant to bring for the world? A lot of times we forget that whatever we studied is a stepping stone to what we meant to bring. So I see that a lot of times when people naturally get interested in something and then they want to explore it more, and then they study it and then they get certified, and now they want to do the thing that they've learned. But the reason they were driven to learn the thing is because of whatever's actually in their soul design. So what they meant to deliver is actually a little bit different than the thing they studied. The studying of the direction was just a stepping stone to activate what you actually came here to do. So this is what we'll look into in your profit potential wealth energetic section of your soul design. So in this element, what are the gifts that you meant to share with the world? What is the highest frequency for you to aim for, that you actually need to be in order to activate your profit potential? That is also very important. Some people overshoot it, go too high. Some people undershoot it, go way too low. So what is the actual frequency you meant to be on in order to receive money, to receive wealth? The business strategy that is best for your soul design. So as an entrepreneur, that is also super important component, because, you know, if you're wondering like, okay, I'm at this level of my business, things are working, and what do I do next in order to scale? Do I build a group program? Do I expand this way? Do I do Facebook ads and do social media? Do I present and do conferences? Or do I start to do something in person and create retreats? And do I go higher end or lower end? All these components are literally in your soul design. So I will help you translate all your energetics of that into, okay, this is the business strategy that will suit you the most. So whatever it is that your current situation is, either will have to be adjusted, or you're on the right path, awesome, then you can put more energy into it, but you understand which is the way for you to go. So then anything else that you're choosing to add into your business would have to be either outsourced or hired out and so on, in order for you to create the ease and flow in your business that actually has space for you and incredible feeling of you actually doing what you want to do in your life. Okay. And this is also where the emphasis of your marketing should be. Soul design literally has these components because some gifts are for us, some gifts are for others. And whatever it is that the gift for others, you need to understand how to speak about it from the specific standpoint of how you meant to deliver that gift and why is it important and how it fits into your overall mission on this planet in your life. So all of that is in the profit potential. What it does in a material plane is it simplifies your life. It never complicates, it always simplifies. So that allows you to have more ease, more flow, more money coming in, and without having to push yourself, force yourself, and put pressure on yourself. Instead, you actually get to do your life your way, including the money part, and feel awesome about it. Another component, another element of the soul design is life cycles. This is one of my favorite parts because this is where you get to understand the trajectory of your life. Nobody's life is a straight line. We all kind of go on our own unique path within a lifetime. And there's certain points that are encoded in your lifetime about events that activate you. So when you are coming at the event or right after event or in between those events that are pre-encoded on your soul timeline, this is where certain events occur in your physical life or internal world in order to activate you. So some events are meant to bring your gifts online. Some events are meant to realign your life to be more in alignment with your soul mission. Some events are meant to clean up the pain that you've been carrying from childhood so that you finally unload whatever is not yours. Some are literally meant to shed layers of you that's not actually who you are, but whatever you've been programmed with, so you can emerge like a phoenix out of ashes into the true yourself, like true whatever mission you have and your brilliance and so on. So all these pieces are within your timeline laid out in specific times. So looking at your life cycles allows you to know how to focus in the first part of your life, how that differs from the second part of your life, and specific cycles within which lessons you're being shown, where you are right now, like why things are occurring in your life the way they are, why you're feeling the way you're feeling, why you're thinking the way you're thinking currently when maybe 5 years ago you didn't, where is this going, what needs to happen with that. You know, sometimes we think like, oh, there's something wrong, I want to go back to how I was, when actually the current thing might be moving you ahead into something different. And if you understand that, you will have so much more ease instead of all the pressure. So life cycles is super important components of your life. And obviously the older you are, the more cycles you already went through. But you know, we're all living within certain point of our path, right? So whatever the point is, it has a specific energy in application to what you meant to do. So understanding yourself, it's sort of like your inner GPS, right? So if we talked about the navigation principles in the first element of the soul design, like how you meant to make decisions and so on. Here, it's sort of like, okay, what's the GPS? Where are you within this that you need to apply your navigation to, but where are you and what at this specific station of your life you meant to learn, focus on, avoid doing, or instead put your effort into, and so on. So all of that is within the life cycle element. And another element that I usually put within the VIP day is the DNA codes. This is one of my also favorite pieces. It's about the wealth codes that are within you, but those wealth codes are not so much about the material wealth, but about the spiritual wealth. So this is about the genetic imprints that you brought in, imprinted your DNA with, and whatever your DNA already carries that then is meant to amplify and open up and create a specific spark within your being that then propels your personal evolution. This is how you get to contribute to the human collective at the highest level. This is where you become the quantum leader of the human evolution by vibrating specifically your unique note into human collective fields. Okay, so I know what I'm saying sounds very abstract, but it's also very, very, very practical. Because within yourself, you need to understand, okay, these patterns are the issues of my shadow. This is what I'm dealing with. These patterns are what I'm going towards. Most people are actually in the second category and they slide into the shadow that I work with. So understanding this internal dance and where you need to be noticing and going towards and what you need to be noticing and going away from, that is huge component of living with more well-being in your life. And then what's the next step? The next step, it's a transformational, so transcension component of your path. So in your DNA, you have the anchor points for these components. So what's your life work? Like how you're meant to be here. What is the challenge for your evolution and how you're meant to upgrade that challenge? What creates this evolutionary quantum leap for you? Like what are the things to focus on for you to make that leap within the lifetime? And of course, what is the purpose of your lifetime from the spiritual developmental step? Not just the contribution, but also for you uniquely, personally. So this is more about the cycles of your soul from whatever it is that you've been before this body, and how this anchored within your DNA and what is meant to activate from within when you apply this energetics specifically. So all of that is what you get from soul design and so much more. There are so many other pieces, like what are unique patterns within your soul design. If you have a specific issue, we can see how that fits in and why is it active right now and so on. So these are the elements of the VIP day where you understand more about your soul design and you get to activate a lot of those codes. I'm very much looking forward to working with you. We will look at all of these things and so many more. My love to you.